Have you ever sat in an interview room, heart pounding, when they asked, "Tell me about yourself," and your mind went completely blank? I know that feeling. I'm Lucy, and I teach English confidence. I spent years working in corporate America before becoming an English teacher, so I understand exactly what employers are looking for and what creates real confidence in professional situations. In the next minutes, I'm going to give you the exact phrases that help students land their dream jobs, even when English isn't their first language. If you're new here, subscribe to English Podcast for daily English practice. Today we're solving the #1 fear that keeps English learners awake at night: job interviews. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not your English that's the problem. It's not knowing the system. Confidence checkpoint. Pause here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about job interviews in English right now? Remember that number. Before I explain anything, let me show you exactly what confidence sounds like. Mike is going to play the interviewer, and I'll demonstrate the 3 phrases that never fail. Watch how I handle the most terrifying question.
Hi Lucy, thanks for coming in today. So tell me about yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'd love to share what makes me excited about this role. I'm currently working as a marketing coordinator where I've increased social media engagement by 40%. What drew me to this position is your company's focus on innovation, and I believe my experience in digital strategy would add real value to your team.
That's interesting. What's your biggest weakness?
That's a great question. In the past, I used to take on too many projects at once because I wanted to help everyone. But I've learned to prioritize better by using project management tools, and now I actually deliver higher quality work because I can focus properly on each task.
Why do you want to work here?
I've been following your company for 6 months, especially your recent expansion into sustainable products. That aligns perfectly with my values and my background in environmental marketing. I'm excited about the possibility of contributing to projects that make a real difference. Analysis time. Did you notice what just happened? I never said, "I think," or "maybe." Every answer had a structure. Acknowledge the question, give specific evidence, connect it to their needs. This isn't about perfect English. It's about strategic communication. Let me tell you something that will change how you think about interviews forever. The interviewer wants you to succeed. They're not trying to catch you making mistakes. They're hoping you're the solution to their problem. Here's the truth about interview anxiety. It happens because your brain thinks you're being judged as a person. But you're not. You're being evaluated as a solution to a business need. That changes everything. The mistake that creates most anxiety is trying to be perfect instead of being helpful. When you focus on helping them solve their problem, the pressure disappears because you're not performing, you're collaborating. Emergency phrases for panic moments. When your mind goes blank, use, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." When you need more information, ask, "Could you tell me more about what you're looking for in this role?" When you want to redirect to your strengths, say, "I'd love to give you a specific example that relates to this position." These phrases buy you time and show professionalism when your mind goes blank. Your first 30 seconds determine everything. Here's the 4-part formula that works every time. First, start with appreciation. Thank them for their time. Say something like, "Thank you for having me," or, "I appreciate you taking the time." Second, share your current situation. I'm currently. And briefly mention your role or experience. Third, give them one impressive achievement with a specific number or result. Finally, connect it to their role. What excites me about this position is. Never start with, well, I'm from. Or, I've always wanted to. Those are conversation killers. Practice moment. Right now, create your opening using this structure. Say it out loud. If you stumbled, that's normal. Practice it 5 more times. The weakness question terrifies people because they think honesty will hurt them. Wrong. Strategic honesty builds trust. Never say, I'm a perfectionist, or I work too hard. Instead, use this 4-step approach. First, mention a past challenge. In the past, I used to. Second, share your learning moment. But I realized. Third, explain your improvement action. So now I. Finally, highlight the better result, which has helped me. Example. In the past, I used to avoid speaking up in meetings because I wanted to make sure my ideas were perfect. But I realized that my team needed my input to make good decisions. So now I prepare 2 key points before meetings and share them even if they're not 100% complete. This has helped our projects move faster and my confidence has grown significantly. This shows self-awareness, growth, and business impact. That's what they want to hear. Here's what separates good candidates from great ones. The questions you ask. These 3 questions will make you unforgettable. The first question shows your results focused. What does success look like in this role after 6 months? This demonstrates you're planning ahead and thinking about outcomes. The second question proves you want to solve problems. What's the biggest challenge facing the team right now? This shows you're not just looking for a paycheck. You want to contribute immediately. The third question creates emotional connection. What do you enjoy most about working here? This makes them connect with their company and with you personally. Confidence checkpoint. Can you say these 3 questions without looking? Practice them now. Now let's put everything together. Mike will run through a complete interview simulation. And I'll show you how to handle unexpected questions using our techniques.
Welcome. I'm excited to meet you. How was your commute today?
Thank you. It was smooth, which gave me time to review your recent product launch. I'm really impressed with the customer feedback you've been getting.
That's great to hear. So, walk me through your background.
I'd love to share what's most relevant for this position. I've spent the last 3 years in customer service, where I've maintained a 98% satisfaction rating by focusing on really understanding what customers need before offering solutions. What excites me about this role is the opportunity to use those listening skills to help your team improve the customer experience.
Impressive. Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult situation.
Great question. Last month, we had a customer who was frustrated because their order was delayed twice. Instead of just apologizing, I took ownership by personally tracking their shipment, calling the warehouse, and keeping them updated every few hours. Not only did they become one of our most loyal customers, but they referred 3 friends to our company. I learned that going beyond what's expected turns problems into opportunities.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's something I think about often. I see myself having grown into a leadership role where I can mentor others while still staying connected to customers. I'm particularly interested in how technology is changing customer expectations, and I'd love to be part of developing new approaches to service excellence. I believe this role would be a perfect step toward that goal. Analysis. Notice how every answer connected back to their business needs? I wasn't talking about myself. I was talking about how I could help them. That's the secret. By the way, if you're finding this useful, hit that like button and share this with friends or family who are learning English. It really helps us out. Let's be realistic. Sometimes things go wrong. Here's how to handle the most common disasters. When you don't understand a question, say, "That's an interesting question. Could you help me understand what specific aspect you'd like me to focus on?" When you don't know the answer, try, "I don't have direct experience with that, but here's how I would approach learning it quickly." When you make a grammar mistake, don't apologize. Just continue with confidence. They're focused on your ideas, not your articles. When they ask about salary, respond with, "I'm looking for a fair offer that reflects the value I can bring. What range did you have in mind for this position?" When your mind goes blank, use this lifeline. Let me give you a specific example that really demonstrates this. Then tell any relevant story while your brain catches up. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared and staying calm when things don't go as planned. Understanding American interview culture can make or break your success. Here are the unwritten rules. Your handshake should be firm with 2 pumps and eye contact. Practice this until it's automatic. Maintain eye contact about 80% of the time. Looking away occasionally is natural, but avoiding eye contact signals insecurity. Always send a follow-up email within 24 hours. This isn't optional. It's expected in American business culture. Americans value energy and excitement about opportunities. If you sound bored by the job, they'll assume you are. Focus on telling stories rather than listing qualities. Instead of saying, "I'm organized, reliable, and hardworking," tell a story that demonstrates these qualities in action. Arrive exactly 10 minutes early. Not 20 minutes. That seems too eager. Not 5 minutes. That's cutting it close. The biggest cultural mistake? Being too modest. American business culture rewards confident self-promotion when it's backed by evidence. Confidence checkpoint. Remember that number from 1 to 10 you gave yourself at the beginning? What would you rate yourself now? Here's your 48-hour interview confidence system. Tonight, practice your opening and closing in the mirror. Record yourself. You need to hear how you sound. Tomorrow, write out your weakness answer and your 3 strategic questions. Practice them until they sound natural, not rehearsed. On the day of your interview, remember your emergency phrases. Focus on solving their problem, not on being perfect. After the interview, send that follow-up email within 24 hours. Use this template. Thank you for your time today. Our conversation about mention specific topic confirmed my excitement about contributing to a mention specific company goal. I look forward to hearing about next steps. The secret that changes everything. Stop trying to impress them and start trying to help them. When you shift from "will they like me?" to "how can I solve their problem?" your confidence becomes unshakable. Your challenge. Use these techniques in your next interview, even if it's just practice with a friend. Then come back and tell us in the comments how it went. Subscribe to English Podcast for more real English lessons every day. Give this episode a like if it helped you, and remember our motto, Real English for Real Life. Your interview confidence transformation starts now. You've got this.